Eyepoke's head jokes. Welcome back to episode 181 of Eyepokes and Head Jokes. Holy shit, 181.
Yeah.
It's your boy, Mr.
Yeah.
Alex. You got on the other side, Mr. Cooler.
Yes, you do.
With his Dragon Ball Z shirt. You gotta show that shit off. You got like show it with like move the camera around. You got the old school. He got the yeah, there you go.
The whole family is here.
He got the old shit. He got that, and I'm probably gonna have to swag. I'm probably gonna have to swagger jack. So you know, it's just one of those things. I told him already. It's fine. It's not fine, but you know, if I can find it, we
can't go to the same place as when.
No, with it at the same time. Exactly.
We cannot even do the podcast. Maybe do the podcast. maybe.
I want people to be like,
no.
Shit, this shit is dope. So, but no, yeah. So we're back. We have a couple things to talk about this week. First, I want to start off with Sengoku Lord and Nagoya.
Let me turn down my Lupe.
I
don't know if you heard
can't hear it. It's fine. You good. So this week we have Sengoku Lord and Nagoya, or as he was saying, he's going to call it Son Goku Lord and Nagoya, because obviously he has a shirt on. So come on, let's keep up. So we had the first match was Yua Yamura versus Taiji Ishimori. Taiji Ishimori won that. Didn't watch it, so like I'm just going off of results. Just bang, 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 bang. Second match is a tag team match, our favorites. You had Ryosuke Taguchi, Satoshi Kojima, and Togi Makabe. I know. And Togi Makabe versus Gabriel Kidd, Toru Yano, and Tomohiro Ishii, which Togi Makabe, Satoshi ended up getting the pin with the German suplex like into a pin. So yeah, after that we had the third match was another tag team match, another 6-man tag. Sho Yoshihashi and Hiroki Goto versus Bushi Sanada and Tetsuya Naito. Wasn't Bushi? I thought Bushi betrayed. Was that somebody else pretending to be Bushi then?
Yes. I think that's yeah.
Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, I was really confused. All right, cool. So Bushi didn't betray. I was just wondering. I was like, wait, Bushi isn't that old. It never cut on. So
I think his name is Dick Togo. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And that's what Tamahashi. That's what Tamatanga has been putting on Twitter earlier on in the month. So I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go with Tamatanga says. Okay, fair enough.
Yes.
Fair enough. After that, we had the fourth match. It was a 10-man tag team match. It was Hiroshi Tanahashi, Kota Ibushi, Yuji Nagata, Hiroyoshi Tenzan, and Master Wato versus Dookie, I guess, Yoshinobu Kanemaru, Minoru Suzuki, Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, pretty much Suzuki-gun, and the good guys won. So that's all I gotta say.
Fuck that.
Kota Ibushi won with the Kamigoye. So I mean, once you get hit with the Kamigoye, you're kind of done. After that, we had the fifth match was the special singles match, just a random singles match. Okada versus Yujiro Takahashi, and this motherfucker's been tapping motherfuckers out with the Cobra Clutch recently. So he added something new to his arsenal, which I like. He already has a perfect dropkick. He already has a Rainmaker. He already has a lot of things. The one thing that was missing was a submission hold. And to be honest with you, the Cobra Clutch that he puts people in, like it looks like he's putting them in properly.
So what you're saying is he's John Cena when he found the STFU.
No, because don't disrespect him calling him John Cena.
We've been calling him John Cena.
No. I said no. He's not John Cena. It's Tanahashi who's John Cena. That's the John Cena of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not Okada. Okada's like, don't do that.
Either way, it's a bad comparison.
Yeah, it's really bad either way. Because I wouldn't even fully compare Tanahashi to John Cena because Tanahashi is just so much better. Even though I don't like his finisher with the frog splash, whatever, but hey, it works for him. After that, we had the sixth match was the Never Open Weight Championship match. Shingo Takagi defended against El Desperado. So he got him with the Last of the Dragon, so that's his finisher. And then the seventh match was the IWGP Heavyweight and double championship match with the Intercontinental and Heavyweight Championship. Iwo was defending against Hiromu Takahashi. And Apparently he got close. I'm still gonna watch the match because I just haven't been able to. I was gonna watch it today at work. I got distracted because work. It's not like I didn't have
No
time to
promises
watch
here.
it, but whatever.
I'll
No, but I'll watch that because I'll watch
skip
that
it.
match. Yeah, exactly. I'll watch that match. I won't watch the rest of the whole thing, but I'll watch that match for sure. So that was Sengoku Lord in Nagoya. So that was it. That was New Japan for the week, and I think they had another thing today. They're starting with Road to, what was it? Summer
Struggle.
Road to Summer Struggle, yeah.
Which is the greatest name for this summer?
Or I just think it's called Summer Struggle overall, not even Road to, because they had one yesterday in
it makes sense for this year.
Yeah, it does. In Korakuen Hall, and they had yesterday and today in Korakuen Hall. So I don't know exactly what the whole thing is behind it, the premises, but I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of tag matches. I'm sure there's singles matches here and there that lead to certain storylines and whatnot. So that's where we're at with New Japan, and that's New Japan in a nutshell for this week. We'll probably come back with more news on New Japan next week, but as of right now, that's where we're at. So yeah. So I think we can move on to WWE. Is that what you want to start off with, or you want to start off with something else?
I just want to go into, actually, yeah. I was going to do the Herb Dean thing, but I don't really want to talk about that. It was a bad stoppage, in a really good fight,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in the wrong angle to see dude's face, because if you're looking at the camera,
so was he out?
He was out. He was out, but his eyes were open. Kind of glazed.
You could tell they were glazed to a certain degree.
Yes, at a certain degree as well, because like I said, the camera had a better angle than he did.
Because I heard the commentator was like, "Yo, like, what are you doing? Like, stop the fight right now!"
And that's exactly when he stopped it. So to me, it comes down to the angling, and it comes down to the awareness of the wrestlers with the fighters, wrestlers.
I mean, at the same time. Real quick, at the same time, like, I get what you mean. Sometimes I guess it was just poor positioning. That could be one of the big things, because poor positioning could do a lot. Like, it goes to any sport really. Like, if you're watching, it's not like you have instant replay, like let's say in soccer, where you could go and look at the thing and VAR or whatever, video assistant referee, or even in the NFL you could challenge a play or whatnot. It's kind of hard. Like, if the ref's out of position a little bit, you're gonna get that little bit out of position. And that tends to happen here and there. But Herb Dean, for the most part,
one of the best.
With Herb Dean, one of the best out there in the game. I don't think I still have to see it. But again, if you're telling me it's due to mainly positioning and camera, you can see it better on the camera angle than you can due to his positioning. He was still
putting his hands up too. He was hovering over him. He was still putting his hands up, but
you could see he was like kind of out of it.
Yes, and it was still kind of wide, while this guy is like less than 2 feet away from him. Gotcha. So I get it, but at the same time, it's still like sometimes it's really hard when you're the third man in the ring.
Yeah,
I like.
It's all about positioning, man. It's all about positioning.
In the MMA world, or in boxing. That's the one place I would not want to be the third man in the ring. Honestly, that's just me.
Agreed.
I would wrestling. You can tell a little bit here and there, but it's not as it's less of a safety hazard when it's WWE or some kind of wrestling as opposed to MMA and UFC.
100%.
Now we can get into WWE. I guess we could get into Booker T versus Naomi.
Okay, so explain that to me.
Naomi deserves better. So basically, Booker T was saying that the people are going to get you over, but the people are only going to get you over but so much. Basically saying that there is politics that can get you but so far based on the world outside of the planet of the writing team, outside of who's there to make these decisions, which we all know, because hey, we're gonna use your not your heat, but we're gonna use how over you are to a certain degree. That's how I took it from him. He basically said,
I agree.
And we've seen that numerous times. We've seen it with Rusev Day, Aiden English. We've seen that with New Day for the last 5 years before last year. Yeah. So it's well known. But he kept on going to basically say, you got to do the work. It's something about, like, it's not that you don't deserve better and you deserve what you get, but at the same time, you got to put in the hard work. You got to keep doing.
You got to reap what you reap what you sow. Like, honestly, like,
exactly.
If you can't become like it's, and this goes for everything. Like, if you want to become a millionaire, you can't become a millionaire just sitting on your ass. Like,
exactly, you got to go get the work. That shit.
So I understand from that point, but like, why is it like a versus thing? Like, in terms of
because he was basically saying Naomi, the hashtag Naomi deserves better is not gonna do anything for
it's not gonna help. I mean, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong.
It's like you gotta when it comes down to like what really matters, Kevin Nash said it better. I forgot, I think he said Kevin Sullivan. Somebody told him that the only thing real in this business, I might be wrong in saying Kevin Sullivan, but somebody told Kevin Nash, I'm definitely wrong. Somebody told Kevin Nash that the only two things that's real is the road and the money.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Agreed.
Like, the road is gonna take its toll on you. The money is gonna help you, and that's the only thing you have to really chase that really matters. Like the accomplishments mean a lot, and it's gonna make you money, but it's what you do. It's based on what you do on the road. So it's really about money when it comes down to everything. So look at the New Day. Look at all the fucking merch that they have.
Look how much they're pulling in. At the end of the day, if you can sell, that's what it is.
That's the main thing.
And the other thing is, there's also, like you said, there's also backstage politics. How many times did we hear about shit outside of WWE and getting arrested for dumb shit? Not her specifically, but her being involved in those incidents for obvious reasons. Because but at the same time, like, if you have to understand on a business sense. Like, if you're the company, do you want to start pushing somebody that's in the news for dumb shit?
But at the same time, those two gentlemen got pushed way more than she got pushed.
100%. I agree.
So there's not much of an argument there.
No, there isn't. But at the same time, and this is another thing I'm going to say, and it always comes back to this, because she's not the only one getting stiffed in terms of a push in the women's division. It's overall, if you're not Becky, if you're not Sasha, if you're not Bayley, or if you're not Charlotte, or if you're not Charlotte, not even Nia.
Well, she keeps getting a push and she's hurting people. So
they're starting to stop that shit too, though. People are starting to complain. It's only because she's The Rock's cousin. That's it. That's all I'm saying.
Everyone is always complaining. And
okay,
I love
if
Nia,
you're one of those five, you have no room for anybody else. Who's the sixth person? There's no sixth person.
Oh, that was 5 people plus Nia?
Yeah.
I mean, including Nia?
Plus Nia, yeah.
Okay.
I said the main four women and Nia. I guess. Like, I don't rate Nia that high. Like, she's probably a sweet person, but it's just like, I don't rate her because of her propensity to get people hurt. That's it.
It doesn't matter, because they still use her all the time, and they wait for things to blow over, and it blows over, and then something else happens.
But what I'm saying is, regardless of all of that, Naomi isn't getting that time also because of those 4 or 5 people that they keep going back to. They keep going back to the well. It's like Disney going for Toy Story 4. Made no fucking sense to have a Toy Story 4, but they still went to go do it. That's the thing.
It made sense.
That's the thing. No, I'm talking like logically, story wise. The shit ended at Toy Story 3. My childhood ended right there. I was like, we're good there. I'm good here. And then they said Toy Story 4. I was like, nah.
It ended at 2 for me. I didn't watch 3 or 4.
Watch 3. 3, you'll be like, okay, it's done here for sure. 4, there was just a money grab, and that's what it is. Anymore. That's what it is with WWE, like with the women's division at least. Naomi's not getting that love because of that specific thing. Like, it's who can bring in the most money. Like you said, it's all about money at the end of the day. So, I think we can move on to the Keith Lee thing.
One thing, Booker T did actually invite her to work with him, to further whatever needs to happen, or just even to, I'm guessing, just to have a sit down, to have a conversation about what else.
Advice.
Happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I'm aware of it, but at the same time, it's like, it sounds like a slight, even though it's not.
No, it's not. But at the same time, like,
somewhat, not completely, but it sounds somewhat like a slight.
Because the thing is, at the same time, it's not a slight, because you're just like, yo, like, as a wrestler, if she's the one truly complaining, about not getting more opportunities and this and that. There has to be something that she's either not doing or something blocking her in the back, which might not be her fault at all, again. But then it comes back to like, if you want to be the best, you always got to ask, how can I better myself? Who can help me get better if I can't do it on my own? What advice can I get from certain people? So like, it shouldn't be looked at as a slight at the end of the day for me. Because like if somebody tells me, hey, you're really good at what you do, but you're not the best at what you do. Here's how you could probably be the best, and I could talk to you through how to be the best. I'd be like, I bet. Like, let me get to those Sasha and let me get to the horsewoman levels of shit. Otherwise, it's just
crazy because she's been around for longer, and that's pretty much that's the
issue, and I get it. But that was the same thing with Kofi. How long had Kofi been here until we got the whole Kofi Mania? Fucking over a decade. So it's not a new thing. And unfortunately, I think it falls under both the women and black category. But I'm not going to go into, because that's a whole different discussion. And we're going to be here for fucking days.
I'm not going to say too much about it, but,
time.
But Big Swole, she actually put something out there about that as well. So it's something to read.
I mean, minorities have to work twice as hard. It's that simple.
In anything, especially sports, except for when it's WWE, they have to work 10 times as hard.
Yeah.
Especially when it's what's the word?
No need
what's
to
the
go
word?
further than that. I get it.
Yeah. Well,
I get it.
We could go on to NXT news. We could go on to Keith Lee vacating the North American title.
I call bullshit.
I do too. I
call bullshit.
Yeah. But at the same time, I get how they don't want to be like everybody. They don't want to be like New Japan and have a double champion.
No, but this is my thing. You could be a double champion. You don't have to defend both titles at the same time.
You should be able to defend both titles.
You can defend whenever you want. You could be able to do that. What's the problem? No, if you want to create a fucking mega superstar in NXT, that's what you have to keep. You have to keep him as as having both titles and him defending both titles. Yeah, it would.
It would make sense. It would make sense now for the fact that, well, it depends on the person if he wants to work that hard, which I'm sure that he does.
And that's also another thing. Yeah, like
I'm sure that he does, but I can only speak for myself. I would have hoped that he wanted to, but they said logical thing is let's put a title on somebody else and see what it would happen. I wish they would have done that. Yeah. I wish they would have actually kept him as a double champ. Yeah. Let him get like a little bit of a run. Let him work on. I guess maybe work on all 3 shows.
My thing is if Bailey could be Bailey Dos Straps, I don't see why he can't either.
And Sasha could be
a fake Dos Straps, but you know, it is what it is.
Make it 2 belts. I think it's whatever her name is. I like Sasha, but I don't mean to do that to her.
No, I mean, but she didn't win, so
it's just
you ain't win.
It's just WWE. That's what it is. But I don't know. I really like the idea that he was double champion.
Me too.
And
it's a missed opportunity again. Once again, WWE shoots himself in the foot with a missed opportunity.
Yeah, because the thing is with NXT, you know what it is? I think what it is NXT don't want to go head to head with AEW when it comes down to time frame and certain specific things, and they don't want to go against. That
would have gotten them over, though. That would have gotten them over. But that's the thing. New Japan, and that's the problem. Like, you would have had the ratings over easily if you would have kept it going that way and found storylines around it. But you didn't. You dropped the ball once again. So congratulations.
And they would have had Keith Lee as one of the most talked about people in wrestling
and
at
over
this moment.
Yeah, for the year probably. If they would have given him a run as double champ for the rest of the year, defending both belts. Because he has quality matches. So and NXT has quality matches. So at their takeovers, if he would have defended both belts for at least 6 months at the next 2 takeovers, he probably could have been the wrestler of the year.
Well, but, I'm not sure when the next takeover is, but I think it's next month, so it's not too far. Yes, it's SummerSlam.
Whack.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed in that decision, honestly.
Yeah, so what they're doing is they're going to have a tournament of triple threat matches to determine a ladder match. at Takeover for the title.
Yeah.
And with that said, I want the segue out of WWE and NXT. Eric Young said that the WWE way of development is pretty much dead.
Absolutely.
And that was all proof.
Absolutely.
I didn't even mean to segue it that way, but that right there just shows that it's proof, because there's a lot that can happen. Although I do understand that there's a ton of people that deserve a title or even a title shot in NXT.
100%.
But does everyone have that match in them, and do we want to see those matches? We definitely do.
The other thing is, not even that.
You
got to think about it
on regular weekly television as well.
You got to think about it as something where you could have elevated the whole brand just by having your main guy be the double champ, because you could have had quality matches as the NXT champ and as a North American champ. You're bringing up the mid card and your heavyweight, your main title at the same time. So
you don't know where it's at. It's equal. It's equal.
You not capitalizing on that, just kind of did it to yourselves again. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that the ladder match is going to be great at TakeOver.
Exactly.
I'm 100% sure. But at the end of the day, you could have even had a storyline where he has to defend both titles on the same night at 2 different times. You know how first match of the night, and then at the perfectly done, and he could have gotten so over even more.
Or Saturday and Sunday.
But we don't.
It would have made more sense Saturday and Sunday.
We don't work for them. No, fuck that. You do it twice in one night. If somebody could be in one match on one night and then be at the Royal Rumble later that night, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear it.
I'm not saying it doesn't work. What I'm saying is it should be one. It should be one and it should be both nights. And the way I think that should work is
TakeOver a 2-night thing.
SummerSlam. The night before SummerSlam and SummerSlam.
Enough. Yeah.
So the way I'm thinking of it would be
that would be have the title match, like the NXT title match on SummerSlam. 100%. Okay.
No,
I got you.
No, the other way.
Why would you do it the other way? That's stupid.
We don't talk about that title much. Either way, we're gonna still.
That would be but I'm saying that would be the main event for NXT TakeOver, the North American title match. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that should be the NXT main event for that, and then you have at SummerSlam the NXT Championship match. You could start with that the next morning. And then you start off SummerSlam in a really good way because of the NXT match.
Either way it works, but as far as people talking about the North American title right now, we really haven't since Keith Lee has had it. Since he's gotten that title, people haven't really been talking about it. And I would expect...
That's why you make it the main event of the NXT show.
That's why I would rather put it on
They're not going to, though. That's the thing. They're not going to. They're not. I know. It makes sense, but they're not going to.
And to me, it makes better sense to put it on SummerSlam because either way, he's still double champ. So he should have walked into SummerSlam after defending and beating whoever he would be,
or
whoever
at least
the opponent would be.
If he's defending the North American at the main event, like he would have lost it there, but still defended his NXT Championship the next day. Like there's a lot of things they could have done to like actually. It's just
I wouldn't even have booked him to lose. I would have booked him to win both. And either way, on SummerSlam, he still walks in to be a double champ.
We're smarter. You see that title. We know this.
This is all hypothetical, and it's
because the WWE system is broken. The development system is broken. They just look to go out and buy people instead of developing their own stars, which is one missed opportunity that they could have really elevated the shit out of him and everybody else.
I love the fact they are giving people money for. Giving people money to live off. I like that. I like that.
Just to sit there.
Some people
can I do that? I want to go and just sit there and
I
be like.
I would love to do that as well. But I'm not an athlete.
Put me as a talent. I don't give a fuck. Put me as a talent. I don't care.
Jobber number 1. Jobber number 2.
I just go in the ring and go, immediately. Like, just pin me.
I'm not taking a Braun bump, but yeah.
No, yeah. So since we're like on AEW because Eric Young said that stuff,
he's
just
not
run through it.
But yeah, we're gonna get into that anyway.
Oh yeah. Isn't he? Oh no, he's Impact. My bad, right?
Yes, he is.
And I watched it.
Okay, is it better now? Now?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, so the thing about Impact, like the thing about AEW, they pretty much let up. They let up on pretty much everyone that left, that just got pretty much dismissed in April, which I'm not completely mad about. But
what do you mean they let up?
Like they didn't sign anybody that got let go in April.
Because that's gonna make them look weak.
Yeah, and
like, you're just taking their scraps.
They were in negotiations with the club, and the club pretty much said yes, and no. They're going, so they went to Impact, and they're going to New Japan as well.
Good.
They're in talks for that when things go back to happening.
Good. Impact is probably just a stopgap for now. Then they probably want to go back to New Japan.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that they know that they can get title shots, and they can hold certain titles for a while, at least for like a month or two in Impact, because Impact need more eyes. But I know,
it's 14 minutes. Come on, let's just run through it. We're only at AEW.
I'm just looking forward to more title matches that Cody has. That goes for his open challenge. Same thing with Sheeta. I'm looking forward to her open challenges as well.
How was the Eddie Kingston and Cody match?
Oh my God! It might be his. It is definitely.
So I should watch it.
Yes, you should. It's actually his.
It's his best defense, pretty much.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Including the title win as well from Double or Nothing. So it's his best match for that title.
He's supposed to go against Warhorse next week?
Yes.
Sorry, continue.
Later this week is going to be Warhorse, but Eddie Kingston pretty much came out talking shit like he does. He called him out at some other wrestling show earlier in the month, and pretty much they brought him in, and he pretty much came out. The match happened with no intro. The intro happened after the match. That's how good this match was.
You know, if that was the first match of the night, I like when they just go straight into the matches without the whole intro. I prefer that. Like, give me, like, fucking just go. I'm perfectly fine with you just going immediately. Like, as soon as it turns to 8 o'clock, this match is starting. I'm like, oh, shit, I like that. Like, it's not like, welcome to the... No, I don't need all that shit. Just show me what you're doing, then talk to me afterwards. Like, I'm fine.
Yeah. It was no intro until after that fight, and that's exactly what it was. It was no DQ. It was damn near a street fight, not too many weapons. There was a moment where Eddie Kingston tweaked his knee, but he fought through it, and of course, Cody hit him with the not the crossroads, but he put the whatchamacallit on him, the figure 4 leg lock, and
that's how I got him to win.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because he was.
Always got to hit your crossroads.
You don't always have to, and it was like I said. Either way, it was a good match. It was a hard hitting. Eddie Kingston pretty much has. He's a New Yorker. He's from Bronx, Yonkers, so he pretty much has a New Japan type fighting style. So
good.
So it was a really good match. It was a match that you really thought that Cody could lose.
Good.
So
finally.
Exactly. It didn't even though he almost lost during Sunny Kiss the week before. Still not the same. I think after that,
Brian Cage and Ricky Starks.
Oh my God! So apparently that's going to be a thing. Brian Cage, Ricky Starks being accompanied by Taz. I don't know.
And Ricky, it wasn't a match. It was just both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was like versus, but I completely misread.
No, it wasn't a versus.
So Taz is gonna be Ricky Stark's manager then too. Then
that's what it's looking like. That's exactly what it's looking like. I don't know.
What happened to Darby Allin?
Yeah, so Ricky Starks came out to pretty much came out and attacked him after his match, and as he was getting out of. He got out of the ring. He looked basically towards the camera, and Ricky Starks hit him from behind, and he hit his face on the middle rope. Yeah,
that's at least whiplash / concussion. At least
concussion.
At least concussion is a talk.
Yes, okay. Concussion talk is happening right now.
I'm not surprised.
Only thing is, like, it just keeps happening to Darby, and honestly, this is obviously not his fault.
But that one's not his fault, obviously.
Yeah, I would possibly say freak accident, kinda. ish,
Yeah.
or just Ricky Starks not knowing timing, or just maybe being a little gung ho, but
A little
it
extra. Yeah, it happens.
it
I mean,
happens. It happens.
you want to make an impression on TV, so
Yeah, he came out with a fucking flying knee.
I'm sure it wasn't. I'm sure
It,
it wasn't on purpose. So
no, it didn't look like it.
yeah.
It looked like it, but it didn't look like it. It looked like he meant to do it, but he didn't mean to fly him into the fucking middle ropes and make him hit his face. That did not look like it was purposely done.
Gotcha.
But shit happened. So basically, they pretty much fucked him up after that because they didn't realize he had a concussion at the moment because. You
never realize really when you're in the moment.
In the heat of the moment, the show must go on. So he took a power bomb, and I'm not really sure what to call Ricky Stark's move, but he took that as well. And
whenever that happens and like the show goes on, like I always think like you gotta put Lupe's song on.
Most definitely.
The show goes on in your head, like while you're getting fucked up, you're like, well, I have a concussion, but like the song's playing in your head. So
and that's pretty much like when you start seeing stars, the twinkle at the beginning.
You see Lupe just like, all right, the show instead of the stars. So yeah,
that is horrible.
Yeah,
but yeah. Other than that, I'm very interested to see what these three people look like all together. Not Darby, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks, and Taz. I want to see what they look like as a team. At this point, we have a shit ton of either 3-man teams or cluster or factions, whatever you want to call them. We have a lot of that in AEW, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad, especially when they get airtime on BTE. And BTE is pretty much freaking hilarious.
Okay. I haven't watched in a while, so I need to get back to watching that shit. I haven't watched in a very long time.
You would laugh if you actually watched like the last 5 to 10 episodes in a row. Griff Garrison is pretty much an enhancement talent. I don't want to call him a jobber, but he's an enhancement talent. And he's pretty much over on BTE. He had a match with MJF, and we didn't expect to see him put on a really good, decent match. But he put on a decent match, and he pretty much just looks like a big version of Jungle Boy.
Okay.
So that's
how you put AKA Jungle Man. Got it.
Yes, because that's what
I was like, who the fuck is Jungle Man?
MJF was calling him that, and he has a segment. And BTE had a segment with the Dark Order. He had another segment somewhere. With the Dark Order twice actually. And they're like, who the fuck is Griff Garrison? Like, who the fuck is he? Like, they mistaken him for Jungle Boy pretty much 3 or 4 times in the last 2 weeks. So it's a pretty funny bit. I would say jump into that whenever you can. Yeah. To one of my favorite segments of the show. Also, Britt Baker is going back and forth with Big Swole. They're pretty much going to
I get your building. I get it.
Yeah. They're building for All Out.
Yeah, that's fine. But
and she's the first female signed to the roster. She's the face. So they are utilizing her. So I give
they
her
are,
that.
Which is at least cool. Like they're still doing that. But I mean, Big Swole is still having her matches, and she's always at the ringside talking.
No,
shit to Big Swole.
but she's also doing promos as well. They're doing promos back and forth, and Swole is actually kayfabe suspended, so she's still doing promos during this time.
Oh, for attacking her, right?
Yes. So they're both doing promos back and forth, which I actually like for the build of both of them. I like more so Britt because Britt is actually she's sidelined and she still has this segment.
That's why I don't want to hear shit about people saying, "Oh, I'm hurt, but you can't do fucking promos to at least keep yourself relevant." So
we've been saying this.
No, I know we have. That's why I don't want to.
That's the only reason why I wanted to bring her up because I like it. So to keep it on to the women, Diamante had a match versus Ivelisse. It was pretty decent. We haven't seen Ivelisse here before. I don't know if you know her from Lucha Underground.
I know. I remember Ivelisse.
Yeah, so she's a badass. Same as Diamante. We haven't seen her since. Well, we've seen her on AEW.
We've seen her on AEW, and we saw her back in
Battle Club in
Brooklyn.
Almost going on a year now.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have. They had a good match, but this was pretty much the prime time, the prime moment for them to announce that they're having a women's tag tournament happening for AEW.
Is there a belt?
We don't know yet. We don't know.
Why have a tag tournament if you don't even have a belt?
Well, we don't know yet. It might be a belt, but I don't know. I don't know because there's not really a tag division there. And the only reason why I see a tag division there now is because on Dark they're doing a lot with Allie and Brandy Rhodes at the moment. So I don't know. I don't know if it, I'm guessing this is just for her, but it could be a thing. I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing who's gonna actually tag together and who they're gonna sign. Of course, we want to see the Sea Stars. We want to see.
Oh, that would be dope. Yeah, of course.
We want to see the Twisted Sisters, Holiday and Thunder Rosa.
Yeah,
I would love to see them.
Absolutely.
Once they asked, I think like a couple of weeks ago they asked Nyla Rose who would she want to actually tag with, and she actually said Big Swole. So good. I would like to see that as well. So I'm looking forward to that. And for the last thing we can talk about,
Sammy G's back.
Yes, you have thoughts on that more than I do. Like
I think it's too soon. I don't mind. But overall, like with the whole thing still going, I mean, it's not as much as it was before. But like, obviously, his suspension and all that was like kind of knee jerk, but at the same time necessary because obvious reasons. When you say you're suspending somebody indefinitely, it kind of that's what I'm saying. It kind of indefinitely means like maybe 3 to 4 months or something you won't see him for. And not to say that like he said that way like he was way younger, dumber as fuck, and he and again it's not an excuse, but at the same time like everybody was just shocked because he's like, oh, he doesn't give off that type of thing, like which he probably doesn't. Like, yeah, he might be a shit baby face, but he's probably a good guy overall. He just said the wrong thing at that one fucking time. And I just think bringing him back after a month is a little too quick. Maybe 2 months would have been fine just to have it fully probably blow over. But at the same time, if people aren't giving him that much shit or AEW that much shit for bringing him back, and if they feel that he can come back and that he's like, he's learned and grown from the situation, then... yeah,
I like the fact that I'm on Twitter more than you are, way more than you are.
Obviously.
And I haven't
seen... You live on Twitter.
Huh?
You live on Twitter. But yeah, I haven't seen any backlash or anything like that.
I haven't seen not even a bit of it. So
like maybe it was like when it first happened and when it first came out that he said that shit. Yeah, but after that, it was just like...
I haven't seen any backlash from, not even from him. I haven't seen any backlash from the point of bringing him back. Yes, I believe it's too soon because everybody else was getting a lot of shine. But at the same time, he gets a lot of shine not unnecessarily, but
he was having a good run before all of it happened.
Yes, he's had a great run, whether it's T-shirt sales or whatever you want to attribute it to. He's had a great sale run with him solo and him with the inner circle and him with just Jericho.
Yeah.
Great run. I like the run, but I would say put that on pause. Utilize other people from the inner circle, which they kind of did, but pretty much only twice because this was only a 1 month thing. I like that. I'm not mad at it being 1 month. It's just you have so many other talent to utilize, and granted, I know he's pretty much already a staple, but I think that was really the time to build other people up. Because they weren't even.
That's why I think it should have been a little bit longer. You know what I mean? Like that's why it should have been a little bit longer. But at the same time,
work backstage or something.
Yeah, for a bit. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, as long as he learned his lesson, as long as he like fully understands like what was going on, then yeah. I'm fine with it. I have no real issue.
One thing I do like is the fact that they haven't even put this into the promos of like, because there's promos that you can do. You can put it like he's just in school or something. But I like the fact that they did not. And
no, you shouldn't, because that's not a promo material. That'll be fucking ridiculous. Yeah. I think they'll get slack for doing shit like that. So
most definitely.
There was no need for it. And I think everybody involved understood that, like, no, we shouldn't.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, don't.
he actually, we put him through sensitivity training for a reason, and that's what it was. Sensitivity training. There's no other means to like try to expose that and try to not make money off of it, but like try to like
Make light
technically
of it.
yeah, exactly, and that's what it really
Or
is.
even light of, because once you do that, you make light of everything else that was happening around it. You make light of the whole speaking out movement. So
5-minute warning, bitch.
I like that they did not do that. Okay,
I mean, we're on to
Jamal.
NWA.
Rosie and Jamal.
I don't know who that. I don't know what that is.
Okay, that's 3-minute warning. Oh my God, you smell. Did you just not watch any wrestling in like what was that? When Eric Bischoff was there?
Was that from like 05 to like 11 or 08?
I'm gonna say 3 to 5 because that was like after.
No,
that was
I
like
didn't.
Ruthless.
I didn't.
High school was not the time.
No, we weren't watching wrestling in high school.
Yeah,
we were
that's
not.
definitely true. So yeah, I think we could go pretty much rather with NWA news. It's not much. Color commentator Stu Bennett, aka Bad News Barrett, doesn't think that they're gonna have any NWA shows from now till the rest of 2020.
I can see that.
Which I understand.
I get it.
That's not bad. So that's part of the reason why a lot of people think that they're closing, that NWA is closing. Although Billy Corgan said that they're not, but Raven is saying that they are. So it's just weird. I want to know where that leaves certain champions and certain talent of that.
Free to go wherever the fuck you want. If you close, you close. Like, unfortunately, like they've been on the street.
For the year, though.
Just for the year? I mean, you probably have to let them show up on different things. At this point.
And the Indies is actually like they're starting back up right now. Certain areas, certain
little
places.
by little, yeah.
Yeah.
Just nothing in Florida. Just don't go to Florida. Don't go to Florida.
Don't.
Please don't go to Florida. Like
the Carolinas. There's like many places that you should just not go.
Just avoid about 40 states. I think you'll be fine. Just go on the Gov. Go on the websites. They'll tell you exactly which ones to avoid. Just don't go there.
States. That's exactly what New York is doing. They're avoiding a whole 40
states.
I
want to go to Miami. I'm just not gonna risk it. It's that simple. So Bruce
tonight. I don't think I'm going to Miami for like the next 3 years, just because.
So Bruce Pritchard talking shit about Nick Aldis, saying that he's not like he doesn't have the it factor. I wholeheartedly disagree. Bruce Pritchard doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I listened to what you sent me, Nick Aldis saying practically the same shit. I agree. When I see Nick Aldis, I'm like,
the fact that he said that when they worked together in TNA, what he did when he left, where the ratings were at when he left, and where the ratings were at the end of that year after he had left, when it was just him as a name, as a champion. Like, I love it. Nick Aldis had fucking facts. So
if you got the facts, and I appreciate that. You got the facts to back it up. Back it the fuck up. I don't want to hear Bruce Pritchard is fucking. He's in his stupid little bubble, little WWE bubble. Just like Nick Aldis said, just because he's in WWE, he thinks he could talk shit, and that it's fact, and it's not. At the end of the day, Nick Aldis he does have the it factor. To me, like I look at him and I'm like, that's a motherfucking wrestler. He's
always looked like that, even when he went by Magnus and Impact. Like I would watch and I would say, like, why the fuck doesn't he have the championship? Or why is he running around?
He has the it factor. Like when you told me he was the NWA champ, I was like, oh yeah, I get it. Like look at him.
Before Cody and after Cody, like he dropped the title to Cody, and he said, "Okay, now that you helped me get some knowledge of this title, I'm gonna take it back and I'm gonna maintain this shit.
I'm gonna run with this shit.
I'm gonna run with it, and it's been pretty steady outside of the last recent couple of COVID months.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's really about it.
Because NWA POWERR was on a fucking roll until all this shit happened. Yeah. So they were having some of the better matches out there, like. Legit. I always kept reading about, you got to watch this match on NWA POWERR. You got to see this on NWA POWERR. So I was like,
and honestly,
they're doing something
NWA working with Ring of Honor and beginning of this month, of this year, actually, was actually a good thing for Raw, not
both of them,
NWA.
exactly.
It was good for both of them, but it was a lot better it was a more needed for Raw than it was for NWA. I've talked about it many times here. As soon as they switched up their weekly televised shows, their format, it was pretty much over for Ring of Honor. So I don't know. Bruce Prichard has to either either just not talk about certain things and certain people, but
no, he's just talking out of his ass. That's it.
Yeah, and it might be something else there that we don't know. It might be some kind of funk that these guys have with each other, but
true. But at the same time, people just like to talk out of their ass because they think they're the authority just because you work for WWE. No pun intended, but you know what I mean. Like it's just, yeah. You want to close with your random shit?
Yeah.
You got dos minutos. That looks like 4. You got dos.
Okay, I got dos. SummerSlam on a boat might be happening.
Nah. I'm gonna tell you why right now.
Jericho
motherfucker. No, not even that. 1, you're copying off of that to begin with immediately. 2.
COVID in February.
You're in a closed set again, in the ocean. Motherfuckers get sick on cruises just on the regular without COVID.
Just motion.
So yeah, not even that. I'm just saying like motherfuckers be getting sick coming back from cruises. Like
because the air is different in the middle of that ocean or the middle of whatever ocean.
Whatever it is, if somebody's sick on the cruise, half of that cruise is getting sick. If it's a regular cold, somebody's getting sick. That shit's gonna spread like wildfire. So you really want to do that shit on a closed set in the middle of the ocean? It might not be in the middle of the ocean. It might just be like literally off the beach, like not too far out. But just 1, you're copying Jericho shit, and 2, it's just not a good idea. Because if you can't handle testing your fucking people at your goddamn performance center, and
don't do it. You shouldn't do it.
Just don't.
You know what's the worst part about them copying the Jericho cruise? The fact that Jericho brought this to them 2 or maybe 3 years prior, and they denied it, and not even denied it to him. They just strung him along and said, "I'll let him know. I'll let Vince know. I'll see what Vince thinks. I'll see what he says." And
nobody want to copy now. That's what it is.
Yeah, nobody ever spoke to Vince, or nobody ever spoke to Chris and let him know what Vince's plans or idea of that was. Which, just say yay or nay. Just say
just tell me yes or no.
Nay. So the fact that happened, and then he goes on to do it not once but twice in a row, 1 for Ring of Honor and 1 for AEW, and they're both in successful. Those 2 years were super successful enough to have a third one that was supposed to be happening, I believe, this year or maybe next year. It was supposed to be in 2021, I think February, and they end up moving it to like September or October of 2021 because of COVID, of course. So like that just lets you know, like, you could be ahead of the curve, be ahead of the fucking curve.
Again, dropping the ball.
So I would honestly love to see how bad they do this and how much shit they get for how much shit AEW gets for saying, "Oh, WWE did this first." It doesn't matter who does it first. They did it better.
Yeah, fuck.
Like, come on. Like, plain and simple.
Anything else?
Yeah, bad idea and for 2 reasons. MLW signed a streaming deal with DOE Television. It's going to be available on Pluto TV, which is a free app, and it's pretty much available everywhere. So
good for them. Aren't they on YouTube anyway, though?
They were on YouTube. They were on Fight.
They're not on YouTube anymore?
I believe they might still be on YouTube.
They should be. I think they should be.
But maybe when this deal starts with them,
it might be an exclusivity deal. Yeah.
Yes, it might be exclusive. So you might see like just highlights or certain matches on YouTube, which is not a bad idea. Okay. So, but MLW has honestly been getting a lot of deals in the last couple of years. So
yeah, they have.
I like what they're doing. Court Bauer is actually doing a lot of good stuff over there, as well as suing WWE for, I think, contact tampering or something like that. That was the word for WWE a couple of months ago. So
I know, I remember.
Yeah. Want to talk about Mike Tyson and Roy Jones getting into a fight for Thriller?
That should be interesting.
It's going to be very interesting. I'm really looking forward to it. I think
Roy Jones is my favorite boxer, but
it's Mike Tyson.
It's Mike Tyson.
We know what Mike Tyson in his prime looked like, and now that he
fuck that. Even in 50, you saw the video.
That's why I'm scared for Roy. That's why I'm scared for Roy.
I love Roy. My favorite boxer, but
yeah,
it should be like. But I said it should be interesting. They shouldn't be going at 100% anyway. So like, but I mean.
Mike Tyson going to kill him at 50.
But yeah, exactly.
50% and 50 years old. It's really interesting because we already know what Mike Tyson looks like in his prime, in his heyday, with demons. So imagine no demons and in his second prime.
Demons and pigeons. No demons, pigeons, and yeah. It's just
pigeons
50 years old, and pretty much overall now, actually a pretty damn honest human being that I actually would love to meet, like legit.
Yeah,
he's real. I respect real. He's always been honest.
I've seen his podcast a couple of times, and it is scary sometimes. Just listening to him talk and the interaction of how he just randomly grab people as he's talking, and they're all sitting down. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's one of those moments where it's just like, whoa, Mike. And so apparently the Impact title is a replica, or
obviously she hasn't sent that shit back.
She hasn't sent it back. No, but it could be a real one. It could be a secondary real one. Listen,
Impact don't got that money.
Yes, they do. Okay, Impact doesn't. Anthem does.
Yeah.
But it's still a fake. That's crazy to me.
I mean, she just gotta send it back. It is what it is.
She's supposed to be sending it back soon, but that's always the word. Soon is always the word.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm waiting to see what happens with that. That's really about it. Big Swole.
Nah, we're done. AEW's done.
Big Swole is the shit.
No, we're done. Well, she is, but we're done.
The club was supposed to be in Inner Circle.
Good for them. Again, you're talking about AEW shit. I'm over it. We passed AEW stuff. We passed everything else. All right, then we're done. So that's the end of the episode.
That was rumors. That wasn't AEW.
You should have put that on that part.
AEW has rumors.
We passed the AEW part. That's the end of the show. Thank you so much for being here and watching, listening. No, fuck you. And
Chris Jericho and Sebastian.
Good for him. I don't care. Right now, I really don't care.
You don't want to see the sing-off between them two?
Nope. That being said, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. You can follow us on Twitter at Pokes and Chokes. Myself at _ Mr. Alex25 _ the guy on the other side always trying to elongate the episode at
NU _ KWLA.
Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/Pokes and Chokes. Instagram Instagram at Pokes Chokes Podcast. Listen to us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Transistor FM, and Stitcher. And subscribe and like, share. And thanks again for being with us. And we'll catch you guys next week.
Redbubble, Threadless, get some shit.
That too. I need to set up the other one. I need to finish setting it up. But yeah,
96.
Get some shit. We got masks. So
I want
peace
one
out,
of those
guys.
masks.
Peace out. Have a good one.